I've been doing some thinking, and I want to rectify the misinformation out in today's society in regards to being a particular way, being a particular version, an idea, as you will, that may get your name in the book of everlasting life, meaning a place within the New Jerusalem above and beyond. There's so much misinformation online deceiving many people into believing that, well, if I'm a nice person or if I'm a good person, I'll get my name in the book of everlasting life, thus ultimately seeing me within the New Jerusalem, above and beyond, that is, which is technically the new Israel, not the Israel that's currently under attack as we speak, but the new Israel, right? And that couldn't be any further from the truth. And this is what many of the young and naive people of today's generation don't understand nor get. They've been conditioned all of these years into believing that, well, if I'm a nice person or if I'm a good person, I will see my name in the book of everlasting life, and I will be able to spend the rest of my life within the New Jerusalem, the New Israel, right? And that's not necessarily true. Think about it, right? Common sense people. You could be a nice person, you could be a good person, right? But yet your works could still be of a self-righteous manner. Therefore, all of the works that you've conditioned yourselves into believing was of God, along with Christ, was never of God, never of Christ, and they were of the self, which is technically condemning a lot of people as we speak. So, my verdict on this misinformation of being a nice person or a good person will automatically see your name within the book of everlasting life and the New Jerusalem, the New Israel. My verdict is lies. Like I said, you could be the most nicest person, the most genuine, good-hearted person upon the face of the earth, right? But yet, you could still be doing works that serve self and not God, nor the Bible for that matter. Therefore, who are you really serving, people? Because I can assure you now, you're not serving God and you're not serving Christ. You're serving the devil. This is what so many people don't understand today. Well, if I'm a nice person or if I'm a good person, I will go to heaven. Yeah, not necessarily true. So people need to wake up and shift this lie, this deception that they've been sold throughout the years of being a nice or a good person. Getting your name within the everlasting, or better yet, the book of everlasting life, thus ultimately seeing each and every one of you spend eternity within the New Jerusalem, the New Israel, because that couldn't be any further from the truth. Like I said, people can be good, they can be nice, but if their works are of the self and are self-righteous, filthy, ragged works, you being a nice person or a good person isn't going to see your name within the book of everlasting life. Therefore, you will be condemned, lest you know this truth. But yet, given today's generation, so many people don't know this truth because they're brainwashed. They're conditioned into believing, well, like I say, if I'm a nice person or a good person, I will go to heaven. And that's false. It's nothing more than a lie created by the devil himself. See, I know how the devil operates. I'm not stupid. He likes to cherry pick the gospel. He also likes to pervert, manipulate, and twist the biblical scriptures to suit his own agendas. And this is why so many people are living in fantasy land. They're living in... what's the word I'm looking for? They're living in denial. There you go. They're living in denial of the gospel and its teaching. Being a nice person or being a good person won't necessarily see your name within the book of everlasting life, nor will it see you experience a place within the New Jerusalem, the New Israel, above and beyond. After death, or better yet, after life, might I add. So you need to lose this perception, people. You need to lose this perception. You need to lose this mindset of wanting to be a good person or a nice person whilst still committing self-righteous, filthy, ragged works of your own agendas, your own motives, and your own intentions. Being nice, like I said, and being good is not going to cut it when involving the gospel and the teaching of God and Christ, for that matter. Because like I said, and I'll say it for the last and final time, because I don't want to sound like a scratched record, you could be a nice person and a good person. You could honestly think that your works are actually, in fact, good works, right? 9 times out of 10, your works are of a self-righteous manner. Therefore, that's exactly what God's going to do on Judgment Day. When you are lifted up from the physical vessel itself and you're made to stand before Him to give an account of your life. And there we have it, folks. So don't be deceived. Stay vigilant. Study the gospel. Seek after the presence of God along with Christ via the Holy Spirit, which I can assure you is not found in man-made religion. It's not found in anything of this world. Rather, it's found within via the Holy Spirit. And that's all there is to it. End of discussion.